We did it. I endured. I managed to get through SummerSlam. And, okay, it's a mixed bag. Saw that coming. It was either going to suck or it's going to be a mixed bag. I don't expect greatness, especially when you have a bloated card going on. So, our kickoffs matches were Andrade and Ole Miss and Zelina versus Rusev Day and Lana. So that was okay. It was solid. I knew, I had a feeling Aiden English was going to get involved in this match, and he didn't. He stayed in the back. He even tweeted saying, "I stayed in the back. I did as they told me, and they still lost." So yeah, Rusev now doesn't have a leg to stand on if he's trying to vent. Once again, I'm trying to wonder, wait, who's the face and heel in this? Is it Rusev and Lana, or is it Ole Miss and Zelina Vega? I know they're obviously heels, but is Rusev a face now, or is he just kind of in limbo? So, yeah, this is now another loss for Rusev Day, and looks like they're moving forward with being English probably. I'm hoping Ole Miss and moves on to, a much more golden opportunity for him, be it the U.S. title, if for more reasons than, he's foreign, therefore he has to be U.S. champion. Foreigners are evil, right? In Vince's eyes. I actually kind of wanted to fight the WWE title for the WWE championship, but we're going to have to wait on that match. So, yeah, let's move on. We got Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander defending his title against Drew Gulak. And every time when I hear the name Gulak, it just makes me think of, is that a type of cheese? I don't know why. And this was the best match of the kickoffs because, once again, Triple H's creativity shines through and lets them say, go all out. And yeah, it's sad that Vince won't promote it, because if he promotes it, he's basically saying that he's promoting the Antichrist, because that's sacrilege in his eyes. I'm like, if Vince was still in control of 205 Live, I'm pretty sure we would be seeing Enzo Amore still running around with it, and, well, not really. Or, well, we'd be seeing someone who's talented but not being given the chance. So, yeah. So, yeah, this match, there was a botched moment in the sequence during the end where you notice that, yeah, they tried to do this way, but they had to change the sequence. And they even barred his Drew Gulak's allies, Brian Kendrick, and I think Jack Gallagher, I can't remember. I haven't watched 205 Live, I didn't even know they were a group. So, yeah, they didn't get involved. And Cedric Alexander once again retains the Cruiserweight title and continues to showcase why 205 Live has now been improved by Triple H. And I'm going to still advocate for NXT 205 because, let's be real, that's got to happen. So then we move forward to that. Oh, and by the way, all the matches on the kickoff have been all roll-up finishes. Clearly, they're the new finishers now. And the BT versus the Revival. I do not care about this match. Unless the Revival wins, then I'll be all for it. They didn't. Yep. The Revival lost again. And all I'm wondering is, why is it because they said they're pro wrestlers, did Vince have to get all pissy fit over it? I'm still going with the daddy issue part. So, yeah, their careers might as well call it quits in WWE. They should just call it quits and leave. There's no recovery here. They're doomed. They're never going to amount to anything in Vince's eyes because they say words that offend him. Then we get Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, Intercontinental Championship match between Dolph Ziggler and Seth frickin' Rollins. Once again, we see Tyson Kidd's production values on this because this match was, oh my god, this was one of the best matches of the night. It's part of that positive side of SummerSlam. Once again, I keep thinking that Ambrose should have came back on this show because the pop would have been way louder and would have blown the roof off the place instead of having it spoiled to an extent on Monday Night Raw because we gotta get those ratings up. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. So, yeah, Dolph Ziggler went ahead and Seth Rollins went to town, and I loved how Ambrose went from being the obvious psycho to being more reserved and more calculated, and it was like, yeah, this new look's fitting him well, isn't it? And it just gets more and more intense when I kept thinking, like, okay, so when is Ambrose going to do the heel turn? Is it going to be after the match? I think he would go after Seth Rollins and take what's most precious to him, but that wasn't my main intention. Also, Drew McIntyre, please make him Universal Champion. Like, come on. We all want it. So, yeah. So, Ziggler and Rollins, they were locked in Mortal Kombat. And Rollins got got busted open. So, yeah, that's two blood openings in 2 nights. Way to go. That does not obviously say that they're being overworked. And then we get this awesome Falcon Arrows, but it's in an inverted suplex style. And I was like, can we just please give him the Universal title as well? I want to see him fight. I wanted to see him fight Lesnar and win the title. It would have been perfect. So, yeah. So, ultimately, Seth Rollins would get the big victory, becoming Intercontinental Champion for the second time. And here's the thing I'm curious now. Where does McIntyre and Ziggler go? Clearly they're going to do a rematch, and then it's going to be over. So is this the end of their partnership afterwards, or are they going to move on to the tag team belts? Because if they do that, can they please at least win the tag team belts from the B team instead of garbage? Like, yeah. Seth Rollins and Ziggler, they were awesome. Ambrose was great. Drew McIntyre was just as intimidating as all can be. And no obvious heel turn. And I was hopefully getting excited, like, maybe they're going to do Roman Reigns' heel turn. I'm like, I have huge doubts, but maybe. And sure enough, that didn't happen. So then we get to the New Days versus the Bludgeon Brothers, a.k.a. Luke Harper and Eddie Rowan, a.k.a. the Wyatt Family, a.k.a. we gotta shorten their names because long names are complicated for children. This was almost close to being great. You were so close to making this great. Xavier Woods was proving once again why he should be contending against AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and then you screwed it up with a disqualification with a mallet. Why? Yeah, throughout this night, we kind of get disqualifications and squashes on pay-per-view. So, yeah, I'll get to them soon, but, yeah, I was like, they should have ended this match. They should have ended with the Bludgeon Brothers winning. I wanted them to win because I'm kind of getting sick of the New Day constantly getting the spotlight over this, because I wanted to see the Bar versus the Bludgeon Brothers. I wanted to see the Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers. The Usos and Harper and Rowan have great matches in their books. Why not just do that? And then we get to Strowman versus... Oh, wait, I can't say versus. We might as well translate this. We get to Braun Strowman destroying Kevin Owens in less than 3 minutes. Why? Hey, remember when Kevin Owens was this awesome character who beat the crap out of John Cena clean in his first match on the main roster? the Vince doesn't remember that. So, all that stipulation they used was pointless. So, yeah, this match was completely and utterly pointless. Moving on, we get to Becky Lynch versus oh my god, why is she even in this match versus oh my god, can this title reign please come to an end? I really have not enjoyed it. Like, if you like Carmella, that's fine, but I just can't. Like, she was doing alright in NXT as a valet, whatever. But then, when they didn't clearly give her enough time to learn out the ropes more, yeah. I think it was said that Triple H wanted to keep her in NXT along with Alexa Bliss, but Vince McMahon wanted to rush them up, and look how that turned out. So Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Carmella fight, and I was pretty much saying, please Becky win, please Becky win, please Becky win, please Becky win. Because, let's be real, she has the story going on, she has all this going on, and yeah. And luckily Carmella had to play to her strengths as being a manipulative psycho. I would say the B word, but let's be real, I'm pretty sure I would have pissed off SJWs for that. Oh, who am I kidding? I don't care about the SJW community. Bitch! And trying to make Charlotte and Lynch try to kill each other. And yeah, they bought it. And then they started attacking Carmella. And then we started getting moments that made me think of, well, it reminds me of WrestleMania match between Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha Banks. But it feels also botched when Charlotte does this moonsault, the twisting moonsault dive, and yeah, Becky was like 4 feet away, so yeah, that clearly wasn't going to happen. And I was so hoping Becky was close to winning, and then natural selection from Charlotte happened, and she wins. Really think about this for a moment. You mean to tell me that we wasted Charlotte's momentum after being Asuka, gave the belt to Carmella, had her ruin Asuka's legacy in WWE, just so you can give it back just so you can build up Becky, and then have Charlotte come back and make it all for nothing? Oh, man, why? Like, I'm pretty sure Becky wants to sucker punch Vince because he has an obsession to not have foreign people be champions. Well, Brian Ward probably would have done it, but let's be real, Brian Ward's not in charge. And then, frustrated, Lynch finally did what was necessary and to attack Flair, much to the happiness of the audience, delightfully, and them saying to Charlotte that, you deserved it, you deserved it, you deserved it. So, yeah, this is going to turn into Bayley and Sasha Banks in terms of who are we supposed to cheer. Like, but everyone's also kind of mad that Becky Lynch is turning to the, quote, dark side, and she was very popular and very hot right now, and then they sacrificed that to give it to Charlotte because we gotta go ahead and have a possible unification match between her and Ronda Rousey later at WrestleMania and waste everybody's time after that. I'll get to that in a moment. So, yeah, Carmella luckily was not as being used as much as you would expect. So, yeah, at least Charlotte and Becky did the best they could with this. And at least they still went with the mockery of Bayley and Sasha Banks' story. So now we move on to a match that should not be in the middle of the card. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Why is this in the middle of the card? It's, what, the 4th match on the main card, and if you count it with the kickoff, it's the 8th, and there's 13 matches. If you count also Eliza's performance, which doesn't count. So, yeah, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. This was the match I was hoping to see. The high intensity, the personal vendetta going on, the vindictiveness. I wanted to see that with Nakamura and Styles at WrestleMania, and they fucked that all up somehow. Luckily, they corrected that mistake by doing it with Styles and Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe would continue to piss Styles off, calling out Wendy, his AJ Styles' wife, and his daughter, and Samoa Joe violated the traditional schedule for one fall in this corner, blah 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 blah. And it's the heel and not the face, so we can't go with that. So Vince, you're stealing NXT stuff now after only 24 hours. Wow, way to go! You have no creativity in you, do you? So yeah, you could hear the chops and stiffness going on, and I was loving it. And then fans were chanting for TNA, TNA, TNA. And then I looked on Twitter, they were promoting their past matches between Joe and Styles on TNA Impact on their streaming service right when the match started. Wow. So then throughout this entire match, when it was really getting going, Samoa Joe grabbed a microphone when he was on top of the table when Styles is bloodied and whatnot, and basically promises to be Wendy's new daddy. To be AJ Styles' new daddy, and yeah, Styles snapped, bloodied, angry, attacked Joe, blasted him with a steel chair, drew a disqualification, beat the crap out of him. His emotions getting the best of him, and then his wife actually plays a role and tells him to stop with the murderous intent, and his daughter adorably says, "Daddy, you're bleeding." And I'm thinking, like, a lot of people are going to probably say, "Aww." So what if... yeah. So what if Styles attempted murder? It's okay. The little girl was still concerned for her daddy. So, yeah. I was a little mad that they ended this with disqualification, but I was hoping now, like... yeah, will this lead to Hell in a Cell match between them? I hope so. Though now that the Universal Championship is back in where it should be, it's going to be the main event from now on. I'll get to that when I can. Now we get to a match that really determines the fate of Bryans Future. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. It was everything people wanted to be, sort of. I saw how this match should have been. This was everything I wanted to see, but I still wanted how it should have been held off till WrestleMania at least, with the WWE title on the line in the main event, and do WrestleMania 2. That's the only problem I have with this match. It's so good, it should have been waited until WrestleMania for the title. WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, the title would be the perfect setup. And from what I'm hearing, they were considering doing something like that with Miz winning the Money in the Bank contract. And then Vince said, fuck that, that's too much of a good idea and too much of a huge opportunity to get money. Like, what do you think I am, Chris Jericho? That's too much of a good idea. Hate that. So, yeah, and Miz probably took the most vicious beating he got because I think he let Bryan go ahead and, like, go all out. Let's do this. Let's steal the show. And they certainly did. So, yeah, and Bryan and Miz was bruised and actually somewhat bloodied on the chest. And I was like, you know this is legitimate feud power here. And here's the thing. It's currently being debated whether or not Bryan's future is going to be determined. Miz ultimately wins this match. But there's still there is still a question about, is Bryan leaving or is he staying? Well, even if he could leave, he can't. You see, apparently WWE wants to be massive dicks and say, hey Brian, I know you don't want to sign back with us, but here's this thing. We have a clause where we can basically be assholes and make you stay whether you like it or not. Yeah, if he doesn't re-sign with them, they're gonna probably force him to stay, just like they did with Rey Mysterio back in 2014, and like they're doing to Neville and starving him out, because then they'll think he can crawl back to them. So, yeah, and Brian even, I'm curious as to know, will Brian just go all, I don't give a damn attitude again? Because that would be fun. Like, he's mocked WWE's creative team. He's insulted Vince indirectly. He kept saying how they don't care. He keeps insulting them. Keeps doing things that clearly are not supposed to be said on a PG environment. He's clearly trying to piss someone off backstage, and he knows they can't do anything about it because of the fact he's too popular. And Vince can't fire him, because if he leaves, they're going to take money and they're going to make a huge amount of money there, and he won't get a single ounce of profit. But if he stays, he's just going to keep giving the big middle finger to Vince, so basically Vince is stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I'm loving every moment of it. I like it when Vince squirms in his hatred of compelled pettiness. Anyways, let's talk about a match that should not have happened and is a piece of shit. Finn Balor versus the Constable Baron Corbin. Okay, Baron Corbin comes out. Okay, and let's see how this is gonna go. Okay, it's clearly gonna be Balor, and then I was like, no, you did not. The Demon Finn Balor returns. Okay. And then Michael Cole continues to prove that Dream mocked Vince McMahon when Vince basically retconned Demon Balor's appearances last year and saying he hasn't been seen since 2016, even though he was there with Bray Wyatt and he was supposed to do it again with Bray Wyatt, and then we changed it because Bray Wyatt got the mumps and we had to change it with Styles, and he still wore the Demon paint, but forget all that. That doesn't exist. Forget all that. Forget this awesome gesture of the too sweet hand gesture that was clearly not trying to insult the Young Bucks by saying, we own this hand gesture, bitches, so get used to it. Yeah, I was not happy. I was glad to see it back, but at the same time I was like, why is it being used for this? It should have been used for a much bigger deal. Like... And Vince is not going to care one way or another. He probably just said, fuck it. He doesn't care about Balor. He couldn't care less about the thousands of fans that were throwing their arms up and screaming at the top of their lungs, cheering for him. And he will still say, Balor's not over enough. He's not Roman Reigns. So, yeah. And... yeah, basically Finn Balor basically destroys him. So yeah, that was quick. Now notice how there were jobbings and whatnot. And then we get to a match that really I'm questioning, why was this not a triple threat match for Hardy's sake, and also why is Hardy still wrestling in this condition? Yeah, I knew this was just going to be at best an average match between Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. Because, one, Jeff Hardy confirmed he's dealing with back issues, nagging injuries, and I don't want to question any concerns here, but he's also dealing with nerve damage, or at least nerve issues going on with his nervous system. So, yeah, that's a recipe for horrible, 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 horrible disaster. And really the only highlight was Jeff Hardy going ahead and mocking Nakamura's mannerisms and throwing the King of Strong style off. But that's it. And then Jeff Hardy continues to prove that he's also trying to either kill himself or Vince has ordered this is how the match is going to go and is trying to kill Jeff Hardy for some mysterious reason. You see, Jeff Hardy, the guy who kept saying he can't do a swanton bomb in the current physical conditions he's in, does a swanton bomb. And landed spine first on the side apron, the hardest part of the ring. That clearly either says Vince is trying to kill him or Jeff Hardy is trying to kill himself. And then Randy Orton, after Shinsuke Nakamura retained the title, came out looking to attack and then just walked away. I'm pretty sure some people are probably joking right now that he went to go handshake some new creative writers. Oh, don't worry, that's going to end badly. And then we get Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. Everything I wanted. I wanted something different. Ronda Rousey completely destroyed Bliss. And now we celebrate the victories. The fact that Alexa Bliss's run as a women's champion, for now at least, is over. And we don't have to deal with more over-pushing for now. And everyone was initially nervous, thinking, is the Bella Twins going to get involved in this match? Or is Natalya going to get involved? And then, after Ronda Rousey won the match, the Bella Twins joined in the festivities between her and Natalya. And the fans booed. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. The Bella Twins are still not popular. Let's be real. Nikki Bella was only used because, we got pissed CM Punk off somehow, and everyone else hates it, so why don't we just go ahead and be petty about it and have her break AJ Lee's record. Oh, and also we could probably use John Cena as our excuse, but we're going to debate on that. And Brie, she's dating she's in a relationship and married to Daniel Bryan, but we don't care about her mentality. So, yeah, no one cares about the Bella Twins. I don't care about them. They get, Nikki doesn't date John Cena anymore, so I don't care about that, honestly. I don't really care about their relationship life. Other than how it feels like John Cena was basically trying to run away and not do these responsibilities because being married was too much for him after what happened last time. And I'm pretty sure some people still think that he might have had an affair, but let's move on from that. And there were rumors going around that they were going to do Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. Why? Nikki doesn't have any value according to Vince's mentality. They can't use the John Cena excuse anymore because she and John Cena are no longer dating. And, CM Punk has nothing to do with this, so they can't use him as an excuse to get pettiness. So what's the point? What's the point? Why can't we just get Sasha Banks or Bayley or all these talented women that I want to see? Ember Moon. I would love to see... And I would love to see Nikki Cross versus Ronda Rousey. Fighting somebody who's insane, thrives on pain, and will smile even being choked out. Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup. But they're not going to do that, because that would make too much logical sense. Oh, by the way, Alexa Bliss is going to fight Trish Stratus. Why? All due respect to Alexa Bliss, I don't like that she's being pushed too much, how she's getting pushed too much, like Roman Reigns, after only a month or so after being off the title and still getting matches and winning the contract, even though people didn't want to see that. Why Trish Stratus? Why couldn't they do Sasha Banks? Or, Mickie James is injured, so they couldn't use her. So, what about Ember Moon or Ruby Riott? Let's do that. I wanted to, okay, all due respect to Alexa, she's not at that level. I can't imagine her being at a level where she could make Trish Stratus look like $1 million after she hasn't wrestled in so long. I don't see that. But it is what it is. They officially announced it, so I have no say in the matter now. So, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are once again main eventing because we gotta be bored out of our minds. So, yeah, just before this match could get underway, Braun shows up and declares that he is not a coward and he would be waiting for the winner after the match because he does things face to face. And they will get these hands! And Roman Reigns clocked in 3 Superman punches and 2 spears before being trapped in a chokehold in the guillotine, and then delivered a big spine buster. Lesnar tried to do it again, choke him again, and Lesnar removed his gloves and tried to suplex him twice. And then Roman Reigns does the impossible and does a suicide dive on Strowman. And before Strowman could try and kill Roman, Lesnar dropped Strowman with an F5, beat him up with a briefcase, threw the briefcase up the ramp, and blasted him with a chair, which means he should have been disqualified like 6 times over now. But just like John Cena, he has special treatment. And then, just when he returned to the square circle, Roman Reigns caught him with a spear and won. So, let's see, where's the cash-in? No? We're not doing the cash-in? You misled fans and lied to them? Fuck you, Vince. Okay, this match. Well, there were several things that came to an end this night. Let's see. In this match alone, Roman Reigns' career, because I'll get to that in a moment, as the Lexman has said, but let me move on. Brock Lesnar's run as a part-time champion, thank God. Strowman being treated legitimately and actually like a threat because, you know, Strowman can do all these impossible things, but he can't get out after an F5 and numerous shots to the back. Even though Strowman came back after being smashed in an ambulance, stood up, got moved around, got thrown in a garbage disposal, and should theoretically be dead, and I have reasons to believe he's still a zombie. But F5, and that's it, he's down. Roman Reigns' career, ultimately. Yeah. There is nothing left now. There's nothing left for Roman to do. He's beaten everybody. He's finally defeated Lesnar. There's nothing. Like, who's left for him to fight? Like, all the top guys have been beaten. All the the veterans they could get are beaten. Yeah, there's all the NXT talent, but let's be real, they're never going to be used like the way Roman's been used, or Seth Rollins to an extent. There's nothing. He's won every title now. He's won every match, basically. There's nothing. There's no momentum boost anymore. It's just there now. It's just, oh, hey, Roman, I would care, but you've already beaten this guy, so... yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing left. That's the tragedy here. There's nothing left for Roman to do. They crammed what could have been 10 years worth of storylines they could have done with so many talent, and they compressed it into 4 years. And now it's done. It's over. There's nothing. They could have done a heel turn and tried to fix some things wrong with that, with having him align with Heyman, but just like the Lexman said, really, who could counter Roman? Like, yeah, there's Seth Rollins, but he's Intercontinental Champion, and clearly Vince has no intention to push him that far beyond that. There's Johnny Gargano, but let's be real, he's going to be relegated to 205 Live because of his weight. There's Tommaso Ciampa, can't do that. There's Daniel Bryan, oh, let's be real, they haven't done that yet with him and for the WWE title, so what makes you think they're going to do it for Roman? He's beaten Strowman already. Once, but still. Like, there's nothing left. There is nothing left to be gained from this career. Roman might as well just cut his losses and just leave. I want Roman to succeed in this business. But I didn't want him rushed and be compressed of all these storylines they could have went with. We don't feel anything other than boredom because he's not emotionally vulnerable. He doesn't show any weaknesses. He gets back up after every loss. He goes ahead and somehow gets a title shot after losing it, like after losing a match against the guy he just beaten. He gets a title shot after defeating the guy who already beat him. So what's left? They probably could have done Bobby Lashley versus Roman, but they spoiled the ending for that because when Roman beat him, there was another guy no longer viable to be a unique opponent. There's nothing. It's done. Call it a career. There's nothing left to gain from here. So, yeah. SummerSlam was a mixed bag. NXT is phenomenal. SummerSlam was a mixed bag. They should have cut down the matches and just done only the 5 matches they needed. The IC title, the Cruiserweight title, the Tag Team title for SmackDown. Let's see. We could have done Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, but no. Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. And Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, maybe also the Triple Threat SmackDown Women's Tag Team Women's Triple Threat match. But still, so yeah, 6 matches. They could have done that. It would have been a great show. But because WWE has to blow up their card every time, it's overbloated, it's jarring, it's an exhaustive process, and it's stupid. So let's see. Becky Lynch's career as a face is over since they can't have a foreigner be a champion without being all hate America. Sasha Banks and Bayley are ruined. Charlotte's starting to reach an over-pushing point. Asuka was nowhere to be seen. Roman has no longer anyone who can uniquely fight. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are the only ones really keeping things going. Daniel Bryan's future is currently up in the air. Yeah. It's a mixed bag. And we also now learn that a Demon Balor character is not given a fuck by Vince. So, yeah. Nothing left to talk about. So, those were my thoughts on SummerSlam 2018. This was New Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.